So
Yes.
we talked a lot about the educational market. I do want to remind our dealers that this doesn't mean that these are educational clients only. There are huge opportunities available in government, enterprise, and house of worship. Wayne, you talked a little bit about the Crestron integration before, and I would imagine that that's a huge opportunity now, even in a corporate boardroom, where more and more companies need to figure out their remote communication models to maintain their own internal communications, as well as external communications to investors and boards and other people out there.
Absolutely. And the Monarch LCS, it's like you said, it was a lecture capture solution, but our system, sorry. But it's we call it your ideal lecture capture solution, right? So that's um, uh, the tagline for the product,
Sure.
but it's not to take away any focus on what its core functionality is. It's streaming and recording. So it could also be used in like government or house of worships where they need to combine a video camera and the presentation material and deliver that as one like picture in picture or side by side and simultaneously hit YouTube and Facebook for example to get the most eyeballs as possible. If you only have a one camera solution, then you could look at either the Monarch HD or the Monarch HDX, either HDMI or SDI solutions. I just lost my thought.
Yeah, no, and in the house of worship market, I'll piggyback off of that. If we start with even the Monarch HD, you have HDMI input and output, which means while you're streaming, you can also be sending to an iMac, right
Yeah,
within the church itself.
right. And then that brings me back to my thought. So if you notice when you pick them up, there's buttons on the front of all those devices.
Yes.
So you can we're like if like in typically like in a church or a synagogue or something, those types of places of worship, there's usually volunteers that are running those equipment. So if they don't need to know how to configure it, you can get some technical person within the group to configure it one time, and it'll remember that configuration forever. And then you just have to go and push the one button on the box, and your live streaming and recording is started. And then you push that button again, and it'll stop that streaming and recording.
Absolutely. So just to sum it up, for our dealers out there, when you have these opportunities in education, government, enterprise, house of worship, work with your Broadfield sales rep. We could involve Glenn on the call also. Glenn is our workflow sales specialist, but we also have a long-standing relationship with Wayne and with the entire team over at Matrox, and we will go after these opportunities to grow that list of recent wins and schools that are out there looking for hundreds of units to implement across the entire campus. Wayne, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.